Part 5. Conclusions. Where are we now? Where do we go next? Where does this get us?
If we compare the solution presented here with the point from which we began, that is, Engels' letters, we now have a solution to the problem of base and superstructure. This solution is consistent with Engels' original notions of reflection and relative autonomy, but no longer vulnerable to the most obvious objections to Engels' analysis. On the other hand, this solution will create a problem for some Marxists. It makes it impossible to simply read off the essential nature of a concrete, historical society from its mode of production alone. In particular, like Engels' original solution, it is strictly opposed to economic reductionism, class fatalism, and mechanical materialism. Conversely, base and superstructure can only be understood with a considerable enrichment of traditional Marxism. However, as this is exactly what both Marx and Engels always insisted was the only way to truly understand society, we should be pleased. There's still plenty to say. So much of the modern world cannot be understood without also understanding base and superstructure. For example, how the capitalist base strives to recapture superstructures so it can profit from them or abolish them altogether. How base corruption undermines the social value of superstructures. Ongoing political struggles for workers' rights and trade union action, human rights, and environmental security and justice. Nor can the future be understood without them. Base and superstructure will certainly persist until the arrival of socialism, and they will finally be dissolved only as part of the transition to communism. Also, there are roles superstructures could still play, even in a communist society. But let's end with a few summary propositions. The Marxist analysis of society cannot be complete without a robust theory of base and superstructure. This theory will not be based on simplistic notions of reflection or relative autonomy. Instead, it will have to go back to the dialectical and materialist foundations of Marxism, especially contradiction and production. Marxism will be profoundly enriched by such an analysis. It provides a framework for analyzing society as a whole, and it solves fundamental problems in the analysis of modes of production themselves. It will also be more able to assimilate the findings of other disciplines, history, sociology, anthropology, psychology, politics, as well as enabling socialists to take more effective control of society itself. Of course, there is a long way to go. We need to apply the theory of base and superstructure to the real world in all its scale and richness, and in the process, we need to articulate the model more completely. We need to assimilate and supersede the findings of other disciplines to the conceptual framework of base and superstructure. We need to plan political strategy in terms of this model. It is an arduous agenda, but Marxism cannot be complete without it. There is, of course, a great deal more to be said about base and superstructure, and you can find out at least some of it here.